This ukiyo-e by Kuniyoshi Utagawa comes out in Pom Poko. The silhouette on the left looks like a whale, but if you look on the right, see, it was a raccoon's testicle and scrotums that expanded and fell loosely. The raccoons tricked us. Kuniyoshi made many prints like this. For example, these raccoons are catching fish with a net, made of their scrotums, of course. Oh no, it's raining! Let's take shelter! Where else but under our own testicles? Someone wrote a comment saying, aren't they foxes? They aren't. These are how raccoons were depicted back in the Edo period. The cartoon images of raccoons, as we know, were yet to be invented. This is a fortune teller. The roof is made of testicles. Raccoons open the store. The billboard is made of scrotums. And they're to be found in any number. Just search under Kuniyoshi Utagawa. It's cold. We need futons. Hold on. Let me enlarge my scrotums. These raccoons are partying. They're beating the drums made out of their own scrotums. So you'll find tons of this kind of ukiyo-e. So, oh, the hair? Well, it's scrotums, so why not? You'll see hair on the scrotums that grow. Not so eye-pleasing. Now, did people back in the Edo period really believe in them? Of course not. They made these ukiyo-e, but that doesn't mean they entirely believed in these. I'm sure they were like, those can't be real. But they also somewhat believed in them, so there was a good balance. I'm sure people back then were skeptical. But meanwhile, they also worshipped raccoons as gods at some large shrines. People visit the shrines and make wishes, so they did treat the raccoons as gods. They were neither 100% positive nor negative about the existence of the raccoons. Now, the reason why Takahata chose to tell a story about raccoons was because raccoons are seen as dumb animals. Take a look at these pictures. There are no other beings in the history of human religions where anything or anyone seen as dumb became a subject of worship. For example, Native Americans worship totems. And many tribal societies in the world worship non-human beings as gods, such as wolves and eagles. They are all strong animals. But Takahata said that in the history of humankind, in any culture, no other beings were worshipped that were conceived as dumb. Takahata said he wanted to articulate this strange relationship between humans and raccoons. He thought anti-fantasy anime was possible if he used raccoons as protagonists. For example, an extremist raccoon, Gonta, leads his paratroopers when he attacks humans. But when they make jumps, they spread their scrotums wide in the form of parachutes. Then they jump into the battlefield. But when we see them, do we believe in them? We don't. But Harry Potter, the beaming magic, the fantasy stuff, we take them for granted. That's because they are fantasy. We don't give them second thoughts. What Takahata did was to use the outstanding anime technologies of Ghibli and create a world that the audience couldn't take for granted. That's anti-fantasy. We don't believe in them. Instead, we mock them. We think, that can't be true. How silly. We enjoy mocking. To Takahata, that's the best outcome of a fiction. Fantasy would make everyone believe in what it offers without being critical. A fiction should leave a room for the audience to stay rational and think, those are all fake, but they are interesting. Takahata wanted this middle point between no way and but that's interesting. The audience may leave the theater thinking, how about we stop by at the raccoon shrine on the way home? Having these images of the raccoons, testicles and scrotums, as well as the ukiyo-e that we saw before, you'll have a different point of view towards Operation Goblin and the climax scene where Tama Hill revives. Those gigantic goblins and monsters are also made of the raccoon scrotums. They transform their own bodies into human bodies through cellular change. For example, Porco Rosso comes out in the operation. A raccoon's body becomes Porco, but his airplane part is, well, it's the raccoon's testicles. Not only Porco's airplane, but also the gigantic skeleton. Thinking they are all raccoon's testicles, it's a pretty dumb scene. If you don't think like that, it's a lovable scene where the raccoons are using all their might to challenge humans, but at the same time, it's dumb. So, anything that's bigger than the raccoons is made of their testicles and scrotums. You guys might be excited when you find Ghibli characters and say, look, there's Kiki, oh, there's Totoro too. But when you point at them, you're pointing at the testicles and scrotums that have turned into Kiki or Totoro. That's what you're looking at. Isn't that silly? Takahata wanted to depict that kind of silliness in his movie. How about the scene where an old man makes the cherry blossoms bloom instantly? Sure, that's a cool magic trick. It's proof that some raccoons can create illusions. But to create illusions, they need an energy source. The raccoons generate energy by putting their hands together to discharge electricity, or pedal bikes hard. In Operation Goblin, the raccoons make a huge structure in the form of a welcoming cat. That huge structure is also made of the raccoon scrotums. That's the worldview of Pom Poko, where a huge structure is made of electricity-powered scrotums, but inside the structure, you see a mysterious illusion. Takahata must have been very logical in these depictions. By being logical, he wanted to articulate the silliness. At the end of the movie, you see Tama Hills reviving in front of the raccoons. The nature that has now disappeared. Those who like to receive ecological themes from Ghibli movies may think it's a scene that describes how nature is great and people should live more humanely. But if you understand Takahata's intention behind featuring raccoons in the movie and seeing all those scrotums, you'd know that the illusionist image of Tama Hill is actually enlarged scrotums that have spread to the horizon. The raccoons are making their last effort as a team, letting out all their remaining energy. The residents in Tama see that illusion made of testicles and scrotums and go, "Oh look, there's Grandma, you're back!" It's such a dumb scene. It's dumb, but it also makes us feel nostalgic. And there's something about it that moves you. Takahata is trying to create a mixture of dumbness and nostalgia. So, the raccoons successfully trick people by making them feel nostalgic. But not only that, they trick themselves as well. So they get emotional and run toward the illusion.